Hello, hello. Welcome to Tolaw. My name is Alexis McNally. I'm a Haitian American human rights lawyer. My work focuses on advancing and supporting criminal justice systems globally. Through Tolaw, I'll be demystifying the legal career for aspiring lawyers, helping you decide whether or not to become a lawyer, and giving you some tips for survival should you decide to embark on the journey. Attending law school is one of those monumental life decisions that you are really going to want to take your time to make. Today, we are going to be talking about factors to consider when deciding whether you should or shouldn't go to law school. So let's figure this out together. The first thing you want to consider when making this decision is, why do you want to go to law school? There are a few different reasons why you may be considering it. Maybe you want to help people. Maybe you're really passionate about a particular area of the law or a particular issue, like criminal justice reform or copyright. Maybe you just want to make lots of money. Maybe it's the prestige of the career, the stability that it may afford you. Maybe you want to go because you feel like it will help you develop a particular set of skills. Maybe it just seems like fun. You need to sit down and figure out your why. Be intentional. Because you're going to need to remind yourself many times during law school and throughout your legal career of why it is you were doing what you were doing. Law school isn't easy. Your faith in yourself, in the law, in the world is going to be tested. And when things get hard, you are going to need a solid reason for why you should keep going. For me, I went to law school because I wanted to help people. I grew up in a very poor household. I was homeless for a good portion of my childhood. There are so many things that I want to fix in this world, and I felt like law school would give me the tools that I needed to do it. But initially, I was considering getting a master's in public administration. I wanted to help shape societies and remedy systemic change. And the more research that I did online, the more I thought that maybe I should at least apply to a couple of law programs while applying to master's programs. So, why do you want to go to law school? Let me know down below in the chat. The next question you should be asking yourself is law school for you personally? The good news is there isn't one kind of student that should be going to law school. You don't need to be thinking, oh, since I'm not like so and so, I don't belong in law school or I shouldn't be a lawyer. If anything, pop culture has shown us so many depictions of lawyers, there isn't one kind of personality, age, sex, or race that belongs. I know it can still be hard to feel like you belong when you don't fit the stereotype. For me, as a Black woman, I wasn't actually sure that I could or should be a lawyer until I visited my prospective law school during open day. And there I met a current Black woman law student. She gave me and a bunch of other students a tour of the campus, and she just seemed so confident, so reassured that she was where she was supposed to be, that it gave me the courage and the hope that I could do the same thing. Now, there are some other things that may make law school a struggle for you. One, it's a lot of reading. If you're not a reader, I don't know what to say. On a daily basis, you are assigned hundreds of pages of reading, mostly cases, and you're not just supposed to read, you're supposed to understand, analyze, and critique. You'll really need to work on your reading comprehension if that's something that's difficult for you. Before law school, I loved reading. It was my hobby. Law school killed the joy of reading for me. I do not read for pleasure anymore. Outside of maybe a New Yorker magazine, it's a no. But maybe I'm just in need of a good book. If you have any good reading suggestions, drop them below in the chat. You'll also read a lot as a lawyer, a lot of other cases, a lot of research reports, a lot of other people's work, their motions, pleadings. So if you hate reading or you were not very good at reading, that's something that you're going to need to work on. Public speaking can be quite a big part of law school. A lot of American law schools use the Socratic method. This is that ask and answer that you may have seen in some legal shows. On day one, your professor may cold call you. They'll call on you without warning, and they'll ask you to give them the ins and outs of a particular case. What's the procedural background? Who are the parties? What's the legal issue? What was the holding of the case and the judge's reasoning for that decision? And you'll have to answer these questions in front of all of your classmates, which could be a lecture hall of 100 or 200 people. Also, outside of class, you may have to do moot court, a mock trial competition in front of your peers and professors. As a lawyer, if you choose to become a public defender, prosecutor, or some other litigator, you'll be speaking in public daily as part of your profession. And your public speaking skills may determine the outcome of a person's life. Law school is stressful. If you are someone that does not handle stress well, law school is going to be even more of a struggle for you. It is very, very intense between the readings, the lectures, the imposter syndrome, and all of the mind games that some of your classmates may be playing. It's all just way too much. And then on top of that, there are the extracurriculars. Constantly, you're going to be struggling to find a work-life balance. And this is true for your subsequent legal career. Many lawyers work ridiculous hours. I have worked ridiculous hours. When I have a 50-hour week, that's a good week. That's a chill week. And so that's something you need to think about. Of course, I'm generalizing here a bit. There are some legal careers that are less stressful, where you can carve out more time for yourself. And we'll get into those in other videos. But for the most part, long hours, high stress for both law students and lawyers. Two more quick things to consider. Law school is very competitive. It can be cutthroat because you are being graded on a curve. That means that there are a certain number of students that can be at the top. Pretty much everyone else is going to be in the middle, and then there will be some people at the bottom. Even worse is that typically your whole grade depends on one final grade, one final at the end of the course. If you are watching and you are not a gunner, you may be thinking, well, the person that graduates last from law school is still a lawyer. And this is true. But if you are also someone who wants a high paying legal job at a big law firm, you're going to need to excel in your studies. Other employers will also be asking for your transcripts, and their offers are first going to go to people who are at the top of their courses. After you have thought over your reasons for going to law school and whether or not you can hack it, you'll need to think about whether law school is worth it for you. Do you need to go to law school to do the things that you want to do in the world? Is there a different way that you can achieve your goals without the stress and the trauma of law school? For example, if you want to be involved in policy development, it may be better for you to instead get a master's degree in policy. If you want to teach criminology, in fact, if you want to teach anything beyond the black letter law, it may be better for you to get a PhD in that field instead of a JD. Law school is a big commitment. It's 3 very expensive and rigorous years of study. Tuition for the average law program costs around $40,000 per year for full-time in-state students. This adds up to around $120,000 after 3 years of law school for just tuition. You still have to live somewhere and eat during those 3 years. In comparison, tuition and fees for all graduate programs cost around $20,000 per year. This means law school is significantly more expensive than most other types of graduate school. On the bright side, The JD can be a very versatile degree. It can really be leveraged in a bunch of different careers outside of the law, particularly in policy-oriented roles. The last question you should consider while you're making this important decision is, what kind of lawyer do you want to be? This relates back to the reasons why you want to go to law school, but it's the next level of this decision-making process. Specifically, what is it that you want to do? Are you wanting to step into an already defined legal career path, like a prosecutor, public defender, civil legal aid lawyer, judge? You want to figure that out. Otherwise, you might be wasting your time. You might be going to law school only to get to the end of your 3 years and realize that you don't actually want to be a lawyer. Let me know in the chat about what career you are considering. Think deeply about this, do your research, talk to lawyers in all of these different areas that you are considering to get an understanding of what it is they actually do, to see if that's really what you want to be working towards. I'll be here to help you along the way. Check out the first video of the A Day in the Life series, where I talk about what it's like to be a law clerk working for a judge. Take some time, consider all of these questions, and please don't rush this decision. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons. I hope you found this video helpful as you're figuring out whether or not you want to go to law school, whether or not you want to become a lawyer. I'll be putting together some more videos so that we can figure all of this stuff out together. See you next time.